They call it a Piedmont system.
Yeah, well,
The infiltrator makes the septic tanks and the risers, and we're using that as part of the peak systems that we're putting in.
Okay, well, the reason I asked is I just had Clark put me one in a few months ago, $17,000 some dollars, and I'm having that issue, that's why I was asking.
Maybe we could talk to you after the meeting.
Yeah, please.
Let you know what we know.
right.
Are there any other questions? Wanted to give you an update on the free Wednesdays that we did at Camp Lakeview.
I just want to know, are you going to charge your consulting fee?
Well, that might be an idea. This is the second year we've tried a program at Camp Lakeview. That's the camp on the left fork side. That actually the county commission has set aside the property to build a residence camp. The residence camp is not there, but we've got stuff going on. So we had 5 different Wednesdays where the camp was open and we fed anybody who came out. And we had lifeguards there, and we had people helping with the canoeing and the kayak. So this is just the report from it. We had a total of 173 people show up for the 5 Wednesdays, which we thought was pretty good. We spent just under $1,000 for those Wednesdays, so it averaged out about $5.50 a person. We ended up paying for food for the folks who came out. We paid some money to people who helped. It was important to have people help me lug the canoes and stuff back and forth. Could not do it on my own. And then we also paid for one other lifeguard, so there were 2 of us lifeguards, and we thought that was important. We did have at the bottom, it shows you the donated services. Tri-River Transit for free picked people up and took them back again, which was real important. So we thought it was more successful this year than it was last year. I think the fact that it was every other Wednesday and people knew about it, they could sort of plan it, was real good. I think we may come to the commission with some suggestions for 2013, some ways to do it. But seemed to go really well. Kids especially had a real good time with it. Any questions about that? Okay, now another project, now it's the end of the summer, we got all these end of the summer projects, was our YOC camp, our low income kids camp that we've been doing in the county since at least '81. I'm not sure. My memory doesn't go back any farther than that. And Rick Wilson, the second person who was here with the guy earlier, was actually a camp counselor a couple of years in the camp. So everybody seems connected to everyone. This is a week-long residence camp. It ran the 30th of July through the 3rd of August. We've got a lot of help with it, sponsoring it. This report just sort of narrates some of the stuff that happened. We have 44 kids. All the kids are ranging usually from 8 years old to 12. We had a staff of 16, so we had a real good camper-counselor ratio. 1 counselor for under every 3 kids. And I think that's one of the reasons the camp has been successful over the years, because you don't have 1 counselor for 20.
Speaking of council,
The more counselors you have, the less chance there will be that something will happen, because you'll be watching it.
So good.
Our expenses this year were just over $8,500, so the average cost per camper was $193. So it's not a cheap thing to do, but it's a whole week, and that includes busing the kids to camp, feeding them, supplies, materials, all that kind of stuff. This camp staff, for the most part, are high school kids. We get high school kids from Charleston Catholic and high school kids from Lincoln County High School. And we take them out a day and a half before the camp starts, train them. One of the good things about that is you've got pretty much high-achieving Charleston Catholics high school kids who are all set to go off to college. They sort of have their goals set. they get to spend time with Lincoln County kids. It's sort of a good peer-to-peer kind of thing, but the Lincoln County kids have a much better idea about what it's like to live in low-income rural areas, so the Charleston Catholic kids get a taste for that and get a better knowledge of that. So that's who our staff is. We break the kids up into small groups, and each day we do sort of a mini kind of lesson on stuff. We talk about how to manage your anger, how to make good decisions, how to avoid fights, which are things that, you know, that Lincoln County kids to learn. Then we do a lot of fun skills kind of things, woodworking, wood burning, swimming, diving, outdoor cooking, craft kind of stuff like this. Dixie Lambert came down this year, who's world famous almost archery person. She came down on her own, spent a day with us teaching kids archery skills. Sherry Flynn from the Extension Service was part of the camp. It fits into her mission, so the Extension Service and the university is willing to let her spend the time with us. She does a lot of good nutrition things with the camp, nutrition games, nutrition activities. On the last page there, you see sort of a rundown over the last 11 years. The last 11, 2004 through 2012, that's when we really started breaking the expenses out a little more than we did back in the earlier time period of the camp. And you can see that we are averaging about 43 kids each time. Average cost runs 160. And over that 11 years, we've had almost 400 campers come to the camp. Many of them come back for several years, and some of them even end up being counselors eventually. So we got through another YFC camp.